Well, hey there folks, and welcome back once again to the Hop House. Thanks for joining us. It's Eddie here, and it's time for another beer review. Yes, and as you can see from the t-shirt, we're getting festive, people. We're getting festive. 'Tis the season to be merry. Tra la 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 la. Have a beer and some sherry. Tra la 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 la. Okay, we're going to do some Christmas beers. Yes, we are. We are indeed, because it's coming up to that time of the year. I know it's not what we want to be and what we want over Christmas due to restrictions put in place. Apparently there's going to be an announcement with more restrictions on the way. COVID-19 turned into COVID-20, but you know what? I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about beer. Christmas beers, okay? We are now the Saturday before Christmas, the 19th of December. Trying to think of the date then. This video will probably go up afterwards because I'm back in work, so I'm probably not going to have time to get it uploaded. But anyway, we're going to do some Christmas beers. Yes, we are. Now, Christmas comes around just once a year. Christmas beers are usually different. It's a time of the year where you have sort of darker beers, something a bit more rich, maybe a bit more fruity, like a ruby or a dark beer, a stout or a porter or something like that. Now, my journey on the channel so far has mainly been about the more hoppy beers, pale ales, American pale ales, IPAs, that kind of thing. But it's Christmas, baby. It's Christmas, people. So we've got to go and change things around, mix it up a little bit. Especially being a DJ as well. So, Christmas beer numero uno. I've got a couple to get through. Christmas beer number one, and it's this one. Now, I'll show you what it is first, and then I'll talk a little bit about it before I even open it. So this is what we are reviewing today, people. This is Sadler's Brewery Peaky Blinder Christmas Pudding Stout. That's what it is. Now I'll give you a quick background. Oh yeah, there's the bottle cap. Look, that's the Sadler's there. Where's the camera? There's the camera. Hey. Well, that, you see that? Now this is a beer that has changed, and that's why I'm a bit apprehensive, I suppose, about reviewing it. I had this a couple of years ago. So Sadler's Brewery, as on the bottle, is based in Stourbridge, in a little town called Stourbridge, West Midlands, Black Country, basically. And they produced quite a lot of beers under the Peaky Blinder range. You had a Peaky Blinder Pale Ale, which was a hoppy pale ale, lovely beer. Then they did a black IPA, which was half IPA, half sort of dark beer stout. And then they did this, the Peaky Blinders Christmas Pudding Stout. Now I had this, last time I had this was last year, so this time last year, Christmassy time, and it was 6%. And you know what? It was bloody lovely. Now a lot can change in a year. And a lot has changed for Sadler's Brewery. Now, I'm only quoting you what I've heard. As I've said before on the channel, I don't work in the industry. I'm not a brewing expert. I only know what I know and have heard. Sadler's Brewery got bought out, got taken over by a company called Halewood, which is a wine and spirits, quite a big beverage company based up in Liverpool, mainly dealing with liquor, spirits. And they took over the Peaky Blinder range of products. Now, they also own a brewery up in the Lake District called Hawkshead Brewery, which do some fantastic beers, great beers. And rumour had it, again, this is only what I've heard, is that they moved the Peaky Blinder production from Stourbridge up to Hawkshead Brewery in the Lake District. So it's different brewers, different brewery, but it still contains the Sadler's name. Now, as I said, I had this beer here last year and it was 6%. This year, if the camera will pick it up, there, don't know if it will or not, I'm trying to zoom in, it's 4.5%, 4.5%. That's quite a significant drop. That's a big drop in the ABV. It really is. Now, as I said, when it was 6%, it was lovely, it was divine. They also used to do a stout called Mud City Stout, and that changed from 6.6% down to 6%. Now, I have had a look on Hawkshead Brewery's website. because Hawkshead Brewery do some fantastic beers, and I've had a few delivered in the little beer bullets that they do. But they also started selling all these Sadler's beers there. So it's on the Hawkshead website, so maybe they do brew them up in Hawkshead. They used to do another one called the Hot Bomb, Sadler's. Now, honestly, I thought, from what I heard, when Halewood bought out the company, they'd only bought out the Peaky Blinder name, but they've actually bought out Sadler's brewery name. So, that's a little bit of background behind the beer. That's what it looks like in the bottle. You see the bottle cap. I'm going to open it up, stick it in the old glass, and we'll get the appearance on it. So, bit of steam coming out there when the bottle's open. So I'm putting it in the trusty Hobgoblin glass. My purity glass has not been washed up recently, so this one's cleaner. So we're expecting this to be dark, probably more a black colour. Some good carbonation coming up there. It's fizzing, it's fizzing. It is fizzing. So this is what it looks like for you. Apologies if the light's not very good. I'm trying to... So it keeps going light and dark again, blooming camera. This is a dark beer. It is dark black. It's got an off-white head. It was quite fizzy and hissy when I opened it, but it seems to have calmed down now. So this is a Christmas pudding stout. So you would expect Christmas pudding flavours. So things like raisiny, figgy, sort of those sort of fruits that are in a Christmas pudding. Maybe, I don't know if it'd have a smell of brandy to it, but that's what I'd expect from this Christmas pudding stout. It doesn't look as thick as the 6% version that I had last year, but then I'm not expecting it to. It's 4.5. It's been knocked down somewhat. Okay folks, wait, I'm going to go ahead and get my nose in there, so it's time to give it a whiff and see what we can sniff. Tell you what, that smells really good. That smells really good. Very, yeah, I suppose Christmas pudding-y. Smells like a mince pie in a glass. It does. I'm getting the stone fruits in there, the fig, raisin, sultanery type smell. It's sort of, I can almost tell what's coming. It's sort of fruity, but tart-like, not necessarily sweet. Yeah, so it smells like a mince pie. So the smell's alright. The look could be better, but it's holding on to the head okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm quite happy with that. I've heard some horror stories about this beer going from 6% to 4.5, but fingers crossed. Bottoms up, down the old hatchet. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. Stand by. Okay. Alright, be honest. I quite like it. It's nice. It's definitely figgy. It's definitely raisiny. It's got that sort of stone fruit that you would expect. It's got the tartness again of the back end of a jam or a marmalade, and it sort of holds the bitterness at the back end. That's really quite pleasant. I'm relieved. Excuse me. I am relieved because I know that there's some people out there that have had this beer and they said it's not a touch on what it used to be. And with that, I will actually agree. I will, because when I had it last year, it was a lot thicker than this, a lot more gloopy in the mouth. It is thinner, but it's 4.5% down from 6%, so what do you expect? Definitely smells like a mince pie. Tastes like a mince pie. Without the sweetness though. There's not much sweetness here. It is all about the stone fruits doing their business. Swirling it around in the glass, it actually looks quite good. I'm actually quite impressed with this. I'm not going to use the word dread because I don't dread drinking any beer. But I wasn't looking forward to it. I thought I was going to be really disappointed. It's not as good as a 6% version. Let's put that out there. But then I had it a year ago. I had it on cask and it blew my mind. I had it in a pub in Birmingham. The Fuller's pub in Birmingham. The old joint stock. It's got a theatre upstairs, big building, massive Christmas tree in there. Just on the Cathedral Square. If you ever go to Birmingham, go to the old joint stock. It's amazing. You got the Wellington behind it, which is a Black Country Real Ale pub. That's also really good. Anyway, I'm waffling. This was on cask, and I was like, "What is this? What a Christmas beer!" And then B&M sold it, the 6% version last year, and I got that, and I thought, "Yeah, it's nice." This is nice. It's not the 6% version. I don't think he's ruined though. Now, again, I'm not an expert in the industry, but from what I've heard from other people, Rumourville, is that I think there may be something to do with beers can be brewed up to 4.5%, and then above that there's some sort of tax difference, or the price has got to be increased, or maybe B&M just turned around and said, look, we want it selling at this price, and Sadler's or Halewood or whoever own them say, well, you know what, we're going to have to dumb down the ingredients a bit, or the strength or whatever. I don't think that's bad. It's good stuff. Very nice. Peaky Blinder. What does it say on the bottle? 4.5%. Oh, it does still say it's Lion Stourbridge. So, here's me thinking it was made up in the Lake District. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm wrong after all and talking absolute waffle. It does say it is a smooth, rich dark ale brewed with the finest British malt, hops and Christmas pudding ingredients. The hops are first Goldings. A beer like this should contain traditional British hops. So your Fuggles, your Goldings, your First Gold, your Styrian Goldings and all that kind of stuff. You don't want a beer like this to have American hops in it and be really bitter and in your face, because it just doesn't go with the... It doesn't complement the dark fruits, the stone fruits, sorry. It's got oats in it. Pale caramel, chocolate roasted barley and oats. Sadler Brewing Company, Lie Stourbridge DY9. So it does still say it's made in Stourbridge. The last I heard was, I think, from the Sadler's Peaky Blinder page that I liked on Facebook, that they moved a distillery in there and they were brewing now Peaky Blinder rums and Peaky Blinder gins and whiskies. So, if what I've heard is true and this Halewood company has taken over Sadler's, maybe they've just done it for the Peaky Blinder name and they do concentrate on spirits. So they've obviously changed the brewery into a distillery or added a distillery onto it. Who knows? All I know is that a lot of people have said that this is not a touch on what it used to be, and we don't know who brews it now and where it's brewed. I have got a Peaky Blinder Pale Ale down there as well, which I bought. I think I got that from B&M. That's the hoppy one. I really liked that before. But the ABV hasn't changed. And Hawkshead Brewery in the Lake District, if that's where it is brewed, do brew some really good hoppy beer, so that might be quite good. This, I still like. Not a touch on what it used to be, but it's still drinkable. I don't mind it at all. Right, we're going to move on to another couple of Christmas beers this fine Saturday. If you're near a B&M, you might have still have a few days before the big day to go and get some, see if they still sell it. I think it costs about £1.50 or maybe £1, £1.49, £1.59, £1.69, something around that. Sadler's Peaky Blinder Christmas Pudding Stout. See you on the next one. Ciao for now, people.